which is just probably heard there right now already. Okay, let's see. Oh, well, welcome back to Colbertradio.com. And as usual, we're going to be doing our second segment on sports. So, Margot, you can go off and do something else right now and just come on back in about 10, 11 minutes, and we'll be on to something else. I got a bunch of jokes I'm going to be telling in the next segment. I'm going to be telling jokes about Democrats and Republicans. Brooke will be glad to know. All right, let's go to Major League Sports. Let's go to the playoffs.
Okay.
The Yankees sweep the Twins. Is there anything more pathetic than the Minnesota Twins in the playoffs these days? They've lost 12 straight postseason games, 9 of them to the New York Yankees, which means the New York Yankees have swept them twice in the Division Championship Series to knock them out in 2 different years.
If they've lost 9 to the Yankees...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's 3 times.
It's 3 times that the Yankees have beat them, but we don't know how many times the Yankees have swept them. We do know they swept them this year, though. And they clean their clock.
I think the Yankees have swept them 3 times. It's just really sad. It's bad. Texas and Tampa Bay are still tied up at 2 games apiece. They have to play to see who gets to advance. Or did they play that game already?
I can find out.
I think Texas and Tampa Bay still have to play. I know Atlanta and San Francisco still have to play. San Francisco's up 2 games to 1. But I'm still holding out that Atlanta will somehow find a way to knock San Francisco out, because actually Atlanta played very well against San Francisco. But now you got Prado is out, Chipper Jones is out, and now they've lost Wagner, their closer. If they had Wagner last night, Atlanta probably is up 2 games to 1. But they've lost their closer.
I thought they had Wagner in last
night. Wagner is out. I mean, he is done, son. They pitched him in the second game that Atlanta won, but he's done something to his muscles in his side or something, and he will not be back. So Atlanta is basically the walking wounded, and yet still they managed to be very competitive with the San Francisco Giants. Neither team has been able to blow the other one away. They've all been very, very close. And Phillies have swept Cincinnati. Cincinnati is gone. So the Twins and the Reds are out. And it looks like it's going to come down between San Francisco and Atlanta versus the Phillies. And what do you think? You think Tampa Bay beats Texas?
Hold on. What's the series at? I'm looking at
2 games apiece. It's 2 games apiece.
Texas. I'm going to say Texas goes for this one.
I think Texas wins this, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Tampa Bay do it. Tampa actually won the Eastern Division. The Yankees are in as the wild card team.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They're the wild card team.
That's new for the Yankees.
So I'll tell you what, this is a toss-up. You can take. All right, you go take Texas. I'll take Tampa Bay.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll take Tampa Bay in that one. In the San Francisco-Atlanta series, who are you going to pick? Wait a minute, Brooke hasn't given us. Brooke's the tiebreaker. Brooke, Texas or Tampa Bay?
I don't like Texas overall as a state, so probably
that's because George Bush lives there. So she's taking Tampa Bay?
Sure.
All right, she's taking Tampa Bay.
Florida's kind of down there too, but
yeah. Well, you got all right. San Francisco versus Atlanta.
I like San Francisco.
Of course, you like San Francisco. She's taking San Francisco. Who are you taking?
Atlanta.
I still think Atlanta comes back and wins this somehow.
I think so too.
My money's on Bobby Cox.
Game starts tonight in about 25 minutes.
Atlanta doesn't. I thought they played. Oh, yes, they do. They play tonight.
Giants Braves.
All right.
7:37 p.m.
NCAA football. What do you think we're going to lead with this on this?
Oh my God!
The University
the Carolina Gamecocks
beating Bama,
#1 ranked Alabama.
And they didn't. And it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a squawk. It wasn't a muff kick or something else. South Carolina was in control of that game for most of the game.
I'm telling you, everybody's been pointing to, and I've been listening to a lot of the sports radio and reading the blogs. Everybody's saying Alabama didn't show up. Alabama didn't show up.
Yeah,
bull crap. They Bama was there, up, and so did South Carolina. And South Carolina did what you have to do to beat Alabama. They stopped Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. They shut down Greg McElroy's passing lanes. Alabama still put 21 points on the board. They
sacked McElroy 7 times.
Right. You can't let the defense into your backfield 7 times and expect to win the game.
You know, that's really insulting to the players of the University of South Carolina. Just say, well, they won because Bama didn't show up. Bama played very tough. Bama had its chance to tie the game up.
And that Bama has most talent in the SEC. They are arguably...
Good God, they were big and they were fast.
They're big and fast. You got to... And I mean... For all intents and purposes, on paper, Alabama wins that game.
Yes.
Every time, not 99.
That's why you play the game. Because I tell you, South Carolina controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Not only that, but you want to talk about home field advantage. Williams-Brice is starting to matter.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was really
you
rocking
knock
there.
off the number 4 team in 1 year and then go 7-6, and knock off the number 1 team after losing to Auburn the previous week without some home field advantage.
Who's ranked number 1 now? Ohio State.
Ohio State.
That makes sense to me.
They're expecting Boise State to be the number 1 in the first BCS. South Carolina cracks the top 10 with a win. Alabama is still ranked ahead of South Carolina.
That's right.
Which doesn't surprise me. You can't.
We still got to have a season to go, you know.
Right.
We still have to have a season.
Alabama is still a dangerous team. And
sure.
Greg McElroy, at the end of the game, the quarterback, said to Stephen Garcia, "We'll see you again in Atlanta." So that tells me 2 things. First of all, McElroy wants another crack at South Carolina. Fair enough. Second of all, McElroy, who's already played Florida, thinks that South Carolina has the best chance to get to the SEC championship for the Eastern Division.
Oh, I think so. It's theirs to lose now.
Chris Lowe on ESPN.com. South Carolina is for real. But you wanted to, if you want my analysis, what this game really boiled down to, Alabama was out-coached by Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, Spurrier was one of his best coaching jobs in a long time.
Spurrier and Ellis Johnson out-coached
but
Alabama.
You know,
they seem to be 2 steps ahead of Alabama the entire time.
Well, I've been a critic of Stephen Garcia. You know that.
You were a critic during the game.
I was a critic during the game because I saw Stephen Garcia play a superb game for the first 30 minutes against Auburn. Right. I was like, okay, where the hell did the guy go? And I said, the moment I see this guy play a 60-minute ball game, hold his team together, get it through its third quarter jinx, and win that game, and then I'll be a Stephen Garcia supporter.
Right.
He did that against, of all people, the University of Alabama. They scored 5 touchdowns on the number 1 defense in the country.
They didn't kick a field goal at all.
What does Brooke think?
I don't care.
Brooke
doesn't care about football.
On her phone, involved in texting.
Well, and the Redskins beat Green Bay in the NFL.
That's a big upset too, and good on the Redskins for doing that.
And guess who lost another one?
San Francisco.
Dallas.
Dallas lost another one to Tennessee.
San Francisco is a real surprise that San Francisco's 0-5.
They had a heartbreaker. I watched that game last night.
Oh man, God, I was really rooting for your guys last night.
I personally can sympathize. Being a South Carolina fan, I can understand being pissed at your quarterback because we've been pissed at our quarterback since Todd Ellis.
Yeah.
But Alex Smith was in the game. He was playing the game, and he goes 3 and out, all pass plays, and the crowd starts chanting, we want Carr, who's the backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Mike Singletary walks over to Alex Smith and he says, if you want this game, you get in there and you shut them up. Alex Smith goes pretty much perfect on the next 2 drives.
Yeah.
Gets hit on his final throw and throws an interception.
Yeah.
As he's marching the Niners down the field to go back at the Eagles.
Yeah, he almost brought them back. That was pretty impressive.
There was serious momentum from Alex Smith. And you know what? I'm sold. I think he's got the poise. I think he's got the maturity. And when 58,000 people want you off the field and what you do to respond is go in and throw 2 touchdowns.
Shut up your own fans.
That's right. That you got.
You got him.
And that's why I'm a Garcia fan too.
And guess what? The Detroit Lions beat the living hell out of the St. Louis Rams, 44-6.
They are coming alive.
When was the last time they won a game?
They won this year.
That was their first win, I thought.
I didn't think so. I don't know. Hold on.
They should have beaten the Bears. They were cheated out of a victory over the Bears.
Oh, they absolutely were.
Well, we're out of time. We'll be right back with Colbertradio.com. That's sports. You can come on back, Margo.